Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. We have a ton of growth to get off. Goatee's going strong, although we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, let's go ahead and go over some hardware. We're using the TRC. This is the aluminum. This is not. This is the first one. I don't know. This is the first one. I don't know what the other one is. It's stainless. We're using a Bolzano blade in this. The reason I'm using this is because I've heard just a couple of people, not critiques on it, but just saying that it's super mild. Well, as you can see, we have, I want to say this is like 5.5 days of growth. So we'll cut that down with, especially a Bolzano. I don't know, man. Bolzanos for me personally are not ideal, but anyway. All right, let's go with our TRC cream soda synthetic knot from AKA, or it's TRC's. All right, let's go ahead and load the blade. Soap. This is Kaubōi, which is the Joop dupe that we're doing with Carlos, Shave on Gents, and TRC. So, all right, let's get into it. We have quite a bit to talk about. Nothing serious, just some fun stuff. The heat is number one. Let me go ahead and get this blade out of here. I thought Bolzanos were double wrapped. They're not. It's single wrap. Okay. All right. Don't recommend doing this. I just have a lot of stuff on the counter there, so definitely don't put a blade in your mouth. All right. Do as I say, not as I do. Isn't that the saying? All right. So we are tightening this up. Equal on both sides. Very nice. All right. Let's go ahead. We're just going to use warm water for the face. Go straight to the actual tub here. This is the tallow formula. You know what? As I'm lathering up here, let me unbutton my shirt and kind of get it so I'm not getting... I've got to go out today. It's Saturday as I'm recording this. This probably won't be uploaded, if I'm being honest, until, I don't know, maybe Sunday. How's the shot? The shot's pretty good. All right. Yeah, this probably won't be uploaded until Sunday, but all right. I think that's okay. Yeah, so this is in the tallow base. This will be our first release of the tallow base Kaubōi. Samurai, the Samurai Shaver, Carlos, myself, and TRC. That's kind of the collaboration. So, Joop. You know, I'll be honest, and like I told Carlos and Jason and Samurai Shaver, I wasn't even like familiar with Joop before I heard Carlos talking about it quite a bit. But yeah, so that's our load here. Let me wet the face, warm water. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. So over here, we had a record set recently, South Louisiana. It was, I think, the most consecutive days since like the 50s or 60s. I think it was the 50s, of 96 degrees or above during the day. That's not heat index or humidity or taking into account anything other than strictly heat. Let's get this ready to roll. But so it's a week or over of straight up 96 degrees. Now, I think what is that, like 35, 36 degrees Celsius for you guys over there, of like a week straight of it being over that. Now, with being in the South, the humidity is pretty bad. And if you're in super dry heat, you won't know what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, humidity is awful. Humidity makes you sweat more than the actual heat itself. So I've never been to Arizona, but I know that they supposedly have some super dry heat. It's very wet over here. Lots of moisture in the air. All right, so as you can see, like I said, this is the tallow base. Took very little to actually whip up a lather, dipping the tips. Let's go ahead and build a little bit. This base is great. I'm very happy with it. I thought I honestly thought I was at the end of my base iterations. And then I was like, you know what? I looked at some forums and some other things and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I'm just dipping my whole brush in water. So, you know, let me try a couple more ingredients. So purchased them, took about 4 different bases. And here we are, and I'm very, very happy with our tallow base. I think it's gonna knock people's socks off. So yeah. You have to remember, I first came to this hobby as a wet shaver. Just at the end of 2022 is when I started actually dabbling in soap making and that type of stuff. Prior to that, man, I was a hobbyist. I still have however many, over 100 and something soaps, full tubs, not including samples, not including stuff that I've tried and have tossed. I mean, so, you know, I've been doing it for quite some time, and I'd like to think that I know what works for me and what not, and so that's kind of what I was going off of. Now, as with anything, we do send off for testing, for additional feedback. Oh, speaking of this being Saturday night, the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight is tonight. I keep wanting to say Jake Paul and Logan Paul, but they're brothers. They're not fighting. It's Jake Paul and Nate Diaz tonight. So if you don't know anything about either of them, I'll give you just a very, very short, brief, quick rundown. Nate Diaz comes from the UFC. He's been in the UFC for a very, very, very long time. You know, you may like him, you may not like him, but at the end of the day, he is a decent fighter. He has a lot of endurance. His jiu-jitsu is great, although he does like to stand and strike. But Logan, I keep getting it mixed up. Jake Paul is actually from, I think he started his career, if that's what you want to call it, as a Disney kid, you know, and that's what he's known for. But in all honesty, he's impressed a lot of people over these past couple of years. In the boxing world. So I think it'll be a good fight, in all honesty. If I had to give my honest prediction, I would say Nate Diaz loses. Because, you know, Nate, if this was a jiu-jitsu match, Nate would beat Jake 10 out of 10 times. Not even a question. And Nate still has the capability to beat Jake, you know, even with sorry, I'm wrenching my hands off here. Even without having a superior striking, you know. But Nate has been in the sport longer, you know, because he not only does he do jiu-jitsu, but he also does, you know, he trains boxing, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be a very, very nice thing to watch tonight. Plan on getting it and watching that. That'll be the entertainment for the night. And I believe next month in the U.S. we have football starting up, so that'll also be pretty good. So if you've smelled Joop or know what Joop is, this is pretty much as spot on as you're going to get in a soap base. I'd say that was, from all the testing that we've done, I'd say that that's accurate. Like I said, Carlos actually has sent me, when we were doing our testing with the actual scents that we received, and what he sent me, it's very, very similar to The actual fragrance is very similar to this, what the soap and splash and EDP will be. In my opinion, it is slightly different. It's not a one-for-one match, which I think is probably common with dupes. They're not identical, but also in my opinion, for what it's worth, I think our EDP and splash and soap, it's just, the soap kind of dulls it a little bit. It still smells amazing. My entire bathroom right now smells like Joop, but it's not as strong as the EDP and the splash. But I think that's, like I said, I think that's common for soaps. So it is phenomenal. It'll probably just be a one-time thing. I don't think we'll do, it'll just be, people buy it, they don't buy it, whatever, but it'll be a one-time thing. I didn't talk to Carlos or Jason, and because of that, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same boat of like this just being a single one-off release, and that's cool. I know a lot of people don't like exclusivity as far as like, what's available now if it's not available next month, and I understand that, but because we did get a little bit of pushback whenever we released Love Indoors, which was the Valentine's Day scent this year, and then we sold out, and then we were like, well, we didn't really buy a whole lot of essential and fragrant oils to make more. That was just it. It was a Valentine's Day scent. And that was our DR Sauvage scent. And some guys weren't able to get it in time. And, it wasn't like we didn't do like 100 soaps. So, it was a smaller release. And anyway, yeah. All right. I think that's it. I also have the splash down here that I'm going to put on. But yeah, I've done some heavy testing over the past several weeks, just getting everything down. We should have labels in for the soap. Well, soap, splash, and EDP. We should have all of that in soon. It will have its own side label, if that matters to you. So it won't be the typical Night Watch side label or any other side label that you've ever seen before. It's a play on the actual soap label and EDP and splash label. So, all right. Let's see. This is why I really don't like using a DE to shave. I've been using straight, and mainly, again, it's because you just can't get super. Well, I guess maybe you can, but it's hitting the actual base plate. It's hitting the growth and stopping it. So see, there's still some there. I just can't get to it because of the base plate. So I'll have to touch it up a little later, maybe tomorrow, just to get the remaining growth out of there. But yeah, appreciate all you guys stopping by. I know I haven't been uploading too much, but I assure you, with my normal job, my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or whatever, I've just been slammed, man. Which is good. You'll never hear me complain about being super busy. Being super busy is good for me, because my mind wanders, and All right. I've trimmed. I have this little. If I can pick it up, this little wall. No, it's a Conair trimmer. So I set it to whatever it is, like 3/4 of an inch or whatever, and kind of run it through the beard, or the actual bottom portion. Now my stash, I am trying to let kind of grow. I'm not trying to cut that. I did initially, but I'm trying to let it grow, because if you see, See, I don't know if at the end of the day I'm going to. My wife hates it, so she doesn't want me to have it at all, like anything. She just wants all this gone. But I don't know if I want to keep just the stash or if I want to take it all off. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, does it, as a whole, does it look okay? And if not, would just that look okay? Me having just a mustache? Would I need to pull it up some, like here? You know, I don't know. I don't know. So if you're watching the video to this point and don't mind give me some feedback, but yeah, I'm kind of upset because I'm pretty sure it would have been out to like here. The actual length right here would have been out to here if I never trimmed it way back when. But you live and you learn. It's okay. It'll grow eventually. But oh yeah, let me go ahead and put on the splash. Oh. It's in an unmarked container because, like I said, labels aren't in yet, and this is mine anyway. So, oh yeah, no frag burn at all. Now, you know, you somewhat have to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because I never really get frag. There are some manufacturers that do give me frag burn on specific soaps. Funny enough, not every single soap across the board, but some artisans do give me frag burn. But it is what it is. I still use them. I still use the actual soap and EDP or soap and splash because, you know, it tingles for a little bit, but it doesn't, like, I don't break out. I don't have big issues, but I know that's not the same for everybody. So luckily I have really good skin I don't have good skin, but I have skin that doesn't freak out too much when I do get frag burn. So I'm lucky in that regard. All right, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed. I'm gonna go run some errands, some honeydews. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Gotta go run some honeydew errands and get back home and probably cut the lawn and yeah, so I'll be busy for the rest of the day. Just to recap, I'm sorry. It's gonna be the TRC aluminum, their first run. The Bolzano first use, Bolzano blade. Is this right side up yet? Bolzano blade first use. We went with the TRC cream soda handle. And we went with Nightwatch Soap Co.'s Joop tallow base. Well, tallow base in the Joop scent. Gonna be called Kaubōi. So, all right, guys. Oh, and we finished it off. I'm missing. I haven't done these in a while, so I'm kind of missing everything. The flow is all off. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you for your next shave. See ya.